Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Tuesday afternoon to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. Today we are in the Super Bowl and we are facing off against the Minnesota Vikings, who are 10-7. They were the 7th seed, so let's check out the NFL Road to the Super Bowl bracket. So we knocked out the Jacksonville Jaguars 64-0 wild card weekend. Then divisional round playoffs came and we knocked out the Pittsburgh Steelers 47-0. Now, and last episode, which I uploaded today, we knocked out the Cleveland Browns 58-16. I will have the link to all three of the postseason videos in the description if you guys want to check those episodes out. If you have not already, we'll show you the yearly awards and we'll show you the uniforms. We'll see you at kickoff. All right, NFL MVPs are Tua Tagovailoa, Devontae Parker for the Dolphins, and Trevor Dobrovolski, surprisingly. Coach of the Year was Brian Flores, and for the AFC, Offensive Player of the Year, Tua Tagovailoa, Devontae Parker, and Preston Williams, surprisingly. Defensive Player of the Year was Trevor Dobrovolski, Jerome Baker, Byron Jones, Javon Holland, Eric Rowe, and Xavier Howard. Defensive Rookie of the Year was Trevor Dobrovolski and Javon Holland. And Offensive Rookie of the Year was Jalen Waddle. So without a further ado, we'll show you the uniforms and we'll see you guys kick off. Alright, so the Minnesota Vikings, they are in fact going to be wearing their away uniforms with their white away jerseys, purple away pants, purple socks, and white with purple shoes. Alright, so for the home team, the Miami Dolphins, they're going to be wearing their orange alternate uniforms, which they mainly wore from 2004 through 2011, with the white pants, orange socks, and white with aqua shoes. We'll see you guys at kickoff. Alright, so it is now kickoff time here in Inglewood, California. It is Super Bowl time. So this is a rematch between back in Super Bowl 8, which was held in January of 74, and Miami won it 24-7. So 48 years ago, and it was January 13th on a Sunday. And it was like 27 years, like I was born 27 years after Super Bowl 8 in September of 2001. So Minnesota, that was their second Super Bowl appearance, but then they made it to two more and they ended up losing against the Pittsburgh Steelers and Oakland Raiders respectively, and they have not been in a Super Bowl since. So they've made 4 Super Bowls in the 70s. None of them they actually won. So, 3rd and 2, Kirk Cousins going to hand this one off to Dalvin Cook. That is not going to be a first down for Minnesota. And the Dolphins will now have possession of the football. So, they're at the 39-yard line. We're ready to return the punt with Byron Jones, who you guys saw last episode return the kickoff at the beginning of the game for a touchdown against the Cleveland Browns. So Byron Jones, he is actually going to make this Super Bowl punt return possible enough to get a touchdown. And it is one great way to start off the Super Bowl campaign for the Miami Dolphins. 90-yard return, punt return for a touchdown. So the Miami Dolphins lead 7-0 over the Minnesota Vikings. So back-to-back kickoff / punt returns for touchdowns. Great way for the Super Bowl and our great way to get a third Lombardi. All right, this is break time, and Trevor Dobrovolski made a sack on Kirk Cousins, so Andrew Van Ginkel actually gets that fumble recovery for the Miami Dolphins. So that was a nice break that we got there. And the Minnesota Vikings do get their first turnover of the game. So now Tua Tagovailoa, the Alabama product, is actually going to run the football, and he actually does indeed get 17 yards on that play, so that makes it an automatic first down and 10. So we're going to use the inside cross pass play on a 1st and 10 from the 34. So Tagovailoa stepping back to pass. I'm thinking about throwing this one out to Jalen Waddle. Alabama to Alabama connection. Scores a touchdown for Miami, and it's now 14-0, and it's a 34-yard touchdown for Miami. So the Fins lead at 14-0. All right, so 1st down and 10, down at the 30-yard line. C.J. Ham, I think it's his name, runs the football, gains about 3 on that play, and Minnesota is trying to look their way to get their first touchdown of the game, but they're going to run it with Ham, and look at this. We get a fumble recovery again by Andrew Van Ginkel. So this Miami Dolphins defense is like a complete powerhouse against this Minnesota Vikings offense. So Tua Tagovailoa stepping back to pass. Actually, he's going to run it this time. So he's going to use that juke move and gets that first down for Miami at the 32. So this Dolphins team is looking outstanding today. I mean, you did see that miraculous punt return by the offense, by the special teams force, and we're going to use a juke move on that and break a tackle. Does he get it in first down territory? No, he does not, but we're still close enough from getting it from first down, so this might take us the remaining of this quarter, or maybe it could go into next quarter. You may never know what happens in a game of football. So we get it down at the 3. We will see you guys in the second quarter. All right, so 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. We're going to run it with Tua Tagovailoa from 3 yards out. Gets a touchdown for Miami, and it is going to be a 21-0 Miami Dolphins lead at home. All right, so it's now 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. They're at the 38-yard line. They're going to step back to pass. And to Justin Jefferson, the LSU product, loses the football. And Andrew Van Ginkel gets a fumble recovery. So he has now 3 fumble recoveries already in this Super Bowl. And he is on the money. He is that number 1 player that is for sure going to get the defensive MVP. So Tua going to throw this pass out to Mike Gesicki down at the 29-yard line. And it's now a 1st and 10. So the Dolphins are stepping up their game a lot. So that's important to see there. So now we're going to throw this pass deep out to Jalen Waddle. That ends up being incomplete. But we are probably going to use that same play again until we can possibly get a first down either way. But we should be able to. So we actually do get a first down here at the 26. We're on the opposite side of the field. And that was a 46-yard reception. So that makes it an automatic first down no matter where you are on side of the football. But still, we're still going to run it. Use that juke move there. We're going to get close to the 17, and we're going to take a break. We'll see you guys after the 2-minute warning. All right, so 1st and goal. We're stepping back to pass here, and I hope we can get it in. Not quite, but Everson Griffin sacks Tua, but it's 2nd and goal either way. I don't want to do a single back because chances are we will get sacked again if we do that play. But we're going to use something even better. So we're going to try to break a tackle, use that juke move, get stopped at the 5. So we regained at least 3 yards from where we were before we got sacked. But keep in mind, the important thing is we aren't down as much. But it's 21-0 still. I'm going to take a field goal just because it's Super Bowl time, and we'll easily win against this Minnesota Vikings team because we were undefeated this whole regular season. All right, so it's 1st and 10. Minnesota is stepping back to pass with Kirk Cousins, so they're going to throw this one. It's another incompletion, and it's 2nd down and 10. There's less than a minute to go left, actually, in the first half. So, Minnesota, they have got to step up their game there. I thought Justin Jefferson had the reception there for a minute, but he dropped the football. And it's 3rd down and 10 from the 42. So this Minnesota Vikings team is going to step back to pass. Nearly intercepted. And we're going to return a punt here with Byron Jones. So he returned a punt return for a touchdown the first time. I don't think we probably will this second time. Maybe not. You may never know what instances you got. And this Vikings team is a pretty good team, you have to understand. But we get stopped at the 8. We'll see you in the second half. All right, so it's now 24-0 here in Inglewood, California, a suburb of Los Angeles. And Byron Jones, he is in fact going to take this one all the way, in fact, for a touchdown. So chances are he could possibly be Super Bowl MVP because he had both a kickoff and a punt return for a touchdown. That was 95. Last episode against the Cleveland Browns, he returned that for at least 94 to start off the game. So he is a fast player, and he is literally unstoppable there. 31-0 is the score here in Inglewood, California. We're going to take a break. All right, so now we had just scored a kickoff return for a touchdown. So now we're ready to throw the football out to Preston Williams. So that is a 15-yard gain on that play. His first reception of the Super Bowl. And it's very impressive to see that this Dolphins team has really stepped up to the plate, returning kickoff and punt returns for touchdowns for their first touchdown of the first quarter and their second one of the second quarter. So we're actually just going to run it with Tua, and he's going to break this tackle. He is still on his feet whatsoever. He gets stopped at the 18. So he has one rushing touchdown to us. So this is going to be 1st and 10. We're at the 18. We're ready to run it for his second touchdown of the game. So he is still stumbling there, still breaking another tackle, and he's still on his feet, gets stopped at the 10. So now it's 2nd down and 2. Preston Williams does have a broken thumb. He is not going to return in this episode, I'm afraid to say so. But we'll just throw it to Jalen Waddle. I mean, he ain't a bad receiver. I mean, went to the University of Alabama. Any Alabama player can be considered good. But we're going to run it, and he's still on his feet, gets stopped at the 2-yard line. So it's 1st and goal. Tua has 115 rushing yards. Congrats to him, by the way. And it's 1:45 left in the third, so we're going to run it. Does he get it into the end zone for a touchdown? Yes, he does indeed. And this is now going to be 38-0 here at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, home to the Rams and Chargers. All right, so now 1st down and 10. Kirk Cousins going to run it, hand it over to C.J. Ham. That is, in fact, at the 48-yard line. So it will be a 2nd down and 6 now. So I'd like to possibly get an INT at some point in this game, but they're just going to simply run it until maybe fourth quarter or something like that. But they're at the 43-yard line, so Minnesota appears that they're going to run the football, and they actually do, in fact, get a first down. All right, so now it is 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins is actually stepping back to pass. He's going to throw that one out to Adam Thielen, which we haven't seen him all game long. I mean, it was mainly Justin Jefferson that claimed at least 1, 2, maybe 3 receptions at tops. But speaking of Justin Jefferson, he gets a first down, and the Vikings are on the verge of scoring their first touchdown of the Super Bowl. I mean, this Miami Dolphins team was very unstoppable to them, but CJ Ham, they lost a yard on that run play. Trevor Dobrovolski made 4 tackles on the day, and I'm thinking he'll probably want to raise the Lombardi Trophy as well. They're at the 15-yard line, but still they're going to run it, and he gets stopped at the 12. Vikings are on another verge. They do not want to end up scoreless in the Super Bowl. It has never happened, I don't think, that any team was considered to be scoreless. But now, 4th down and 7, they're going to actually take a field goal opportunity. It gives them at least some points to have at least, but it's not going to be as much as many Vikings fans expect. They do get a field goal. All right, so it's now 38-3. We're up by 35 points. 3:07 left to go in the 4th. Byron Jones, he is going to take this kickoff, and he gets stopped at the 29. We'll see you guys after the 2-minute warning. All right, so it's 2nd down and 5. Tua Tagovailoa stepping back to pass. He actually gets sacked on this play for a loss of 8 yards, so that makes it 3rd down and 13. But we're at the 14-yard line either way. But we're pretty close from getting it into the end zone, I'd have to say. But that is incomplete, and I don't want to take another field goal opportunity, so I'm just going to fake. I'm going to fake this field goal, and hopefully we can get a nice touchdown on that play to claim it our final moment of the game. So we had it at first, but now we don't. Oh, wow. We do get an INT on this play, and Byron Jones is going to take a pick 6 for Miami. 15-yard return, and we'll see you guys at the end of the game, and we'll show you the trophy presentation. So he intended that pass to Justin Jefferson, and Byron Jones just claimed that INT, scored punt and kickoff returns for TDs. Take a look at this, another INT and this time it's Trevor Dobrovolski taking the pick 6, and that is also a touchdown as well. And the Miami Dolphins win the Super Bowl 54-3.
For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi Trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it. Everybody wants to end the year holding the Lombardi.
Trevor Dobrovolski is now the MVP.